the second generation of the AirPods Pro and the second generation of the Bose QuietComfort Ultra.
Both feature exceptional noise cancelling and transparency, but both have strengths and weaknesses, which makes this a difficult decision.
Namaste, we're DHRME. Don't hate rotating medium earphones.
We started with ANC, we have to start with the ANC.
For sure. These are some top-notch ANC earbuds, so Let's get into it.
I mean, there's many reasons you might use noise cancelling. It may be for voices, it may be for traveling, you know, with airplanes. It might be just typing and, high-end drilling sounds.
Oh, yeah.
On all three fronts, the Bose is the king. I would say in the low end, maybe it's a bit closer between the two. So if you're just on an airplane, maybe that difference is smaller. But when you hear voices, when you hear higher pitch sounds, I feel like the Bose is way better.
Yeah, and then we're saying it's way better and all of that. It is, but in relation to the AirPods Pro 2. Let's make that very clear.
Right.
Because we tier all of our ANC and transparency, and both of these are tier S.
Yeah.
But within that tier, obviously, you'll see differences when you start comparing them. So in terms of adjustability of the noise cancelling on Bose, you get a couple of sliders and you get presets that you can make. So you can make a preset for, the default ones are like quiet and aware. So it's just max noise cancelling and like full transparency mode.
Yeah.
But you can also make modes for like outdoors. If you want like half noise cancelling, you can put that slider there, or when you're at home or whatever. So you can do all of that.
But you can't turn ANC off.
Yeah, very funny, huh?
Yeah.
That they didn't give you that option.
Yeah.
The AirPods Pros do, but it's a little bit hidden.
Yeah, it used to be ANC off, transparency, and ANC.
Yeah.
And now it's adaptive in the middle. So you have adaptive ANC based on the sound around you, which is nice. But you have to go and enable another setting to be able to turn ANC off.
Yeah.
Which I think is a bit of a miss, but still, you can do it.
You can do that, yeah. And you briefly mentioned that, right? You have adaptive ANC on the AirPods Pro 2, which means depending on the ambient noise around you at that moment, suppose you step out into a busy street and the noise goes up, then the AirPods Pro will adapt the ANC level and start canceling out more. And when you walk into a quiet space again, then it'll bring it down.
Yeah.
So it has that feature as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of features, but ANC is ANC. And then you have a special case of noise cancelling, which is wind, which we tend to deal with a lot here in this rather flat country where we bike around a lot. The Bose ain't great in the wind. I'll give it that. It's like with the ANC on, it's just like the shrill wind piping into your earbuds. I couldn't even listen to my media properly.
There's no wind in airplanes.
There's no wind in airplanes, so they're perfect for airplanes. But if you stick your head out of the airplane, other than the fact that you might just die, the wind noise will disturb you quite a lot.
Yeah.
And they do not have a wind noise reduction mode, unlike their headphones.
Yeah.
So there you do have a...
Yeah, but the newer ones, they have the automatic ones, right? Or not?
Yeah. But the older ones, they had that. But they don't have that here. And ironically, I thought they were better in transparency on wind than on noise cancelling, which is kind of, again, weird.
Yeah, that's not what you see a lot.
No, exactly.
No.
And you can't turn ANC off, so that's disappointing there. AirPods in the wind, again, not great, but better than the Bose. And ANC off, ironically, is worse on the AirPods in the wind. But yeah, it's a whole thing. None of these is great in the wind.
Okay, and then there's transparency. So the Bose has a little bit of white noise. Little bit, you notice it. The AirPods Pro, zero, nothing. It's like wearing nothing at all. So in terms of adjustability, the Bose has that slider again. So if you put it all the way to 0, you get maximum transparency. And both for transparency perform the same. They're both tier S again, but we zoom in a little bit more. And in that tier, if you compare the two, then we would say that the transparency is very natural sounding on the Bose as well as the AirPods Pro. But the Bose suppresses a tiny, tiny bit of the low end. So that's the only nitpick we have there. Again, no occlusion on both, so that, hearing your own voice through your skull feeling that you can get on buds like these.
Yeah.
You don't have that here.
And the white noise, I think, it didn't bother you so much, but somehow it bothered me a bit more on the Bose. So I think it's a little bit...
Yeah, that's kind of cool because we both test these. So then we see that one person is more sensitive to certain things than others. And that'll apply to you guys as well, right? So it's always good to try these things out in quiet spaces and not only in a busy store. So I don't know if you can get to a busy, like a quiet space in a store to test them out, but our recommendation is that. So yeah. Okay.
And then there's a ton of extras. We'll talk about all the extras at the end. But AirPods has this conversation awareness, so such a nice name compared to speak to chat.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
So essentially, once you start talking,
Yeah.
opens up the transparency mode for you to listen to your environment. There's also loud sound reduction on AirPods,
Yep.
and I was actually, ironically, I tested this in my car.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bose has the same.
Yep.
I think they call it Active Sense or whatever they call it. Everybody brands their names, but when I was like slamming the car door as I, got into it and I had my Bose on transparency, I felt like, hey, this doesn't sound right. It was much quieter than it normally is. And then, we tested it also with the door here, and the AirPods also does the same thing, but I feel like the Bose reacts faster, and which is what you need. If you have a sudden sound, you need to react
Yes.
instantly.
Yeah.
And the Bose kind of shut down that sound.
And you also said it reduced it much more
yeah.
than the AirPods did.
Yeah.
So very interesting. So now you cannot close car doors without wearing the Bose.
Yeah, exactly. So
Spoiled.
I think they want to mediate our hearing experience completely. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, so I think if you were traveling, which one would you pick?
I'd pick the Bose. And with traveling, I think you mean like airplanes?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we tested this for airplane noise as well. It is almost literally gone on the Bose. You almost don't hear it. And the AirPods Pros are not bad.
No.
I will definitely be happy with it. But if I'm traveling and I have the option, I'm picking the Bose.
Bose solved airplanes.
The noise, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they should take over a Boeing.
The next thing to solve, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Back to the video.
Let's go to build and design. What do you think?
The first thing I think about when traveling with the earbuds is pocketability.
Yeah.
And the AirPods for sure are more pocketable, but Bose has come a long way from their first generation.
You actually reminded me today. I was like, oh God, the horror.
Yeah, they were like chunky.
Oh.
They were like a cucumber you were carrying around.
Yeah.
Whereas this is much more pocketable. It's still bigger than but yeah.
Yeah, relative, but yeah, still very pocketable, smooth, like
Yeah.
pill-shaped thingy that just slides in and out of your
Exactly.
trousers.
No sharp edges. Nothing
No
like
sharp
that.
edges, yeah. But what doesn't easily slide out?
Yeah, these things, it's really hard to take them out of the case.
Yeah.
For me, I have maybe pudgy fingers or something, but
No, I had the same.
it's not easy. And when you do it more often,
Yeah. Putting them back in is not a problem, but taking them out, whereas the AirPods is very easy.
super easy.
Super easy, yeah.
Yeah. Durability wise,
Yeah.
the AirPods are rated IP54, not just for the buds, but
yeah.
also the case. And
insane.
that's like pretty good.
Yeah.
Whereas the Bose is IPX4 only and only the buds.
Yeah.
So no dust resistance whatsoever. No. And the little liquid resistance you do have is only for the buds.
Yeah. So if you're an outdoorsy person, I mean, the AirPods Pros got you covered a lot better. But it's pretty insane, huh? Because the AirPods Pro, and we'll talk about it later, has a lot of holes and stuff in it. For, it has a little speaker built in, and we'll talk about that. But it's impressive what they've done here.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of looks, I think I'm kind of done seeing AirPods.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
It's done.
The Bose is not necessarily the most exciting, but they do offer you more colors.
Yeah.
You get 3 colors. You get black, white, and plum. And they call it royal in the Netherlands for whatever reason. But yeah, royal plum.
Yep. Whatever.
More colors.
Yeah, neither of them are real lookers. The Bose is a little bit chunkier also. Not my favorite.
No.
But hey.
I think one thing where you're not going to spend too much time on this video is battery life, because both advertise about 6 hours.
Yeah.
In a testing, we got a little bit more. It's a bit of a margin of error, but both have wireless charging, both have USB-C. And I think you should be okay with both
Both of them. Yeah.
as long as you're not listening.
Maybe one thing to add here is that the AirPods has this like smart charging where it'll charge up to 80%, and then based on your like usage or whatever, it'll trickle charge the rest or whatever.
nice.
Yeah. So
Nice one.
So there's that. Okay. Comfort and fit. So the AirPods Pros come with 4 sizes of tips, whereas the Bose only comes with 3. But the Bose doesn't only come with the silicone tips, but it also comes with these stability bands, which is nice, which in my opinion, if I'm a little bit more active, I wouldn't pick any of these. First of all, I would probably pick like clip style or hook style buds. But if I had to, then I would pick the Bose because they just fit and stay in my ear more securely.
And comfort-wise, I think both are comfortable because both have those oval-shaped tips.
Yeah.
We did not have any issues with comfort for long periods of time.
For either of them, yeah.
I think a big differentiator between these two
Ooh,
is
calls.
phone calls and how these sound on microphones. Why don't you listen and come back and we'll talk about it some more. AirPods Pro 2 in quiet conditions. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Test, test, testing. 1, 2, 3. Bose QuietComfort Ultra Gen 2 in quiet conditions. Pop, pop, popsicle. Ice, ice, icicle. Testing. 1, 2, 3. AirPods Pro 2 in noisy conditions. Popsicle. Ice, icicle. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Bose QuietComfort Ultra Gen 2 in noisy conditions. Popsicle. Ice, icicle. Testing. 1, 2, 3. AirPods Pro 2 in windy conditions. This is the wind speed in meters per second. Popsicle. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Bose QuietComfort Ultra Gen 2 in breezy or windy conditions. Popsicle. Icicle. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let's talk about the performance. I guess you guys heard it. Now, I think the Bose have been upgraded from the first gen.
Yep.
They sound better. And I did use these
Somewhat.
for the last week.
Yeah.
I did not get any complaints. And I was on a bike and everything. So in real life tests, they kind of are fine. But AirPods has achieved God tier phone call quality status. We always used to say Huawei is the best, but I think AirPods have gotten there.
And AirPods got there after many iterations. The firmware updates, there's been a product update as well. So yeah, good to see. But then for the Fuckman controls, there are big differences. On the Bose, you can only answer, hang up, change volume, and change the ANC mode you're in. Whereas with the AirPods, you can do all of that, but you can also mute the microphone. And there's head gestures. Yeah. Not only that, actually, if you use an iPhone or an Apple, it'll actually ask you, do you want to answer this call? And you can say yes or no.
Yeah.
It'll do that as well.
Calls, AirPods wins, hands down for me. Controls is also an area where I think Apple has done a really good job.
For sure.
So they have squeeze controls and they have slide controls for volume. And what that means is you can play and pause even if you have gloves on, if you have cloth in the middle or whatever. Whereas the Bose, you need your finger to complete the circuit. Circuit and make it like, it has to be your finger to touch, and that is the same with volume control. On AirPods, the volume control will not work with gloves. So that's kind of like a thing to say. But, all that aside, I don't know. I always have felt since Gen 1 on the Bose, if I hit it even slightly more than gently, it almost hurts my ears. You have the same?
Yeah. That's why I don't like touch controls.
Yeah.
And the tapping. Especially if you have to do multiple tapping. Luckily, what Bose has done with this, and that's usually the control that I use most often, is volume. And that is a slide on it. It could have been worse. There's a lot of buds that use tap for volume. And if you
No, but what I'm saying is slightly different, because I'm not talking about regular tap, which Bose hurts me.
Oh, so there's this like kind of...
It's kind of the noise cancelling thing, I think. That is, it's... Maybe I'm hearing something sensitive.
See, this is the sensitivity thing we're talking about, where there's a big difference between people. So
right,
yeah.
So yeah, I like the controls that they've given. I don't like how it actually manifests in real life. Whereas I really like the AirPods.
Yeah,
no complaints on the AirPods. For me, the AirPods are a clear winner.
Yeah, same. All right, sound quality. When it comes to both of these buds, they have a ton of smarts, which make them really hard to measure for us. The Bose plays a sound when it starts up and uses that information from the sound to tune the sound to your specific ear canal. It's kind of crazy. The AirPods have a ton of smarts as well, including the profile changing when the volume changes, which is why we think they sound way better at higher volumes, because we generally listen to music at lower volumes.
Yeah, that's true. And for sound, I want to take a song that's relevant to us, that highlights the strengths of both of these earbuds. I'm talking about Wasted Love, that won the Eurovision Song Contest this year, because it has many different parts. And when the song starts off, I much prefer the AirPods, like the operatic, that vocal line around 50 seconds. It sounds far too piercing on the Bose. And I find myself always turning the volume down quickly, since the vocals sound like screechy almost. And that is true for a lot of tracks on the Bose. If there's like piercing treble, and if you have My Head and Brain, that will sound piercing. But where the Bose absolutely shines is like the crescendo of the song at about 225, with the gradual addition of instruments and with the higher BPM beats coming in. And the AirPods just sound muddled at that point. They sound less clear, and the bass just doesn't hit as nicely as the Bose does. There's more like incisiveness across the board on the Bose, and they definitely let everything like breathe. All the instruments are there without like crowding out others due to that wider soundstage. And then for rock, I brought out an old Joe Satriani track. Well, not so old. There are older ones. Sahara. The Bose's V-shaped tuning puts the guitars in the back of the room, and the AirPods does kind of the same. Just sounds a bit more congested though, the AirPods. The way I'd put it is the AirPods sound, like they sound much better with the fixed spatial audio on, and actually sounds closer to the Bose in that mode. In terms of width and brightness, but the timbre kind of suffers, so things sound a bit artificial. The Bose immersion mode is wide as well, but I personally felt that the left-right balance was a bit off.
And of course, the Bose will sound better on Android devices with aptX adaptive support, but surprisingly, it did not even default to the aptX codec on our Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, which means both the iPhone and the Samsung were both using the AAC codec.
It's a little bit about sound. I think I prefer the Bose.
But speaking of Bose, there were a couple of issues.
Yeah.
And some of these issues have been plaguing Bose for a while. This is nothing new.
No, it is. I must say it is better than the Gen 1 when we got it out of the box. And we made a joke in the Bose video where we compared the different generations. Maybe in 6 months, this will be really good. But like, it's so annoying.
Yeah. One of them, like the left earbud doesn't connect even after taking them out of the case. And you kind of have to do this whole, game of putting it back in, closing the lid, opening up, hoping that it connects again.
Yeah. And what most people are telling us on the internet, and we haven't tried this, is like having the app on the phone makes the connection quality worse.
Oh.
So what they do is they do all the settings they need to do, uninstall the app, and then the connection is better. And that might be the reason why the multi-point wasn't great for me, because like multi-point is a solved problem like 2-3 years ago at this point. So if you pause at least on one device and you hit play on the second, it should instantly work. And Bose has that feature, which the AirPods doesn't. Let's be clear. AirPods can only work like that with Apple devices.
Correct.
But it did not work very reliably. Even when I paused, I waited 5 seconds, I hit play, it was still confused. We were doing a mic test.
Yeah.
And it just didn't pick up the mic. And, stuff like that is just so annoying for a premium product. Now, let's talk about extras, because, oh my God, these are super feature-packed products. I mean...
Yeah. You want to list them off?
Okay. We're not going to spend all our time talking about them, but deep breath. The AirPods have Find My, they have a speaker on the case, they have Apple switching, they have conversation awareness, they have adaptive transparency, they have personalized adaptive volume, they have Siri you can call up, there's spy mode, what they call live listen, they have hearing assistance like a hearing aid. I can't believe I'm using that like a footnote. That's like a huge feature.
Yeah.
These guys are packed
to the gills. Packed. Entirely packed. Yeah. The Bose has a couple. We don't need as much of a breath for that one, but it has multi-point beyond just the Apple devices. So it can connect to any type of device and stay connected. Both these have in-ear sensors, so they will automatically pause your audio if you take a bud out of your ear. The Bose does read out the name of the connected device and also of incoming calls. The AirPods does that for incoming calls as well on Apple, but what's funny is we used Bose with an iPhone, and so Siri was saying what caller was coming in, as well as Bose. So that was kind of weird.
Kind of an extra.
Was that happening because you had both the AirPods open on your desk and this one?
No. I think it was just, that's just how it worked. Okay, so purchase decision time. Bose versus Apple AirPods Pro. I know which one I'm getting. But before we get there, the price on both of these. The Bose is brand new. Gen 2. 300 euros we paid for with our own money.
Yep.
No sponsorships here from Bose. The AirPods Pro 2 was 300 when it came out. I saw it as low as 200 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fallen in price.
Yeah, in my mind, I had something around 250. Yeah, so somewhere there. Yeah, 200, 300.
Make a choice.
Oh, man. This is tough. For the Bose, I love the noise canceling. But the thing is, I'm not traveling half as much as I should be if I really want to have that and make use of it. But the AirPods, I love in terms of controls and just the usability when I'm nicely in my MacBook, iPhone ecosystem, but I never dare to pick them up because I also use an Android phone.
Right. So I think the question is this your only set of buds?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Say if it was your only set of buds, which one would you pick?
Oh man, in the current system that I'm in, the ecosystem that I'm in with Android and iPhone.
Yeah,
that's tough. That is tough. I can't pick either, man.
You gotta.
This is a hard decision. Fine, I'll I'll go with the AirPods.
Seriously,
Yeah.
even though you have an Android
There's just
phone.
too many issues with the Bose. I just can't deal with, taking a bud out, then putting it back in, and,
Yeah.
Bluetooth issues,
Yeah.
multi-point issues.
I get it.
If they fix it, I'll go with it.
I'll go Bose still. For
Yeah.
me, they're comfortable, they fit, they do multi-point.
Okay.
I need that to have two phones and laptops and all those things.
Yeah.
So definitely Bose for me. But yes, that is really annoying. Those issues are annoying. But as you can see, it's not an easy decision. That's what he said up top. But hopefully Bose fixes those issues and makes it a bit easier for us.
Hope so too. Please do. And a special thanks to all of you guys watching this video, our subscribers, and especially these tested people on Patreon and YouTube memberships.
And these beautiful Fakman tier supporters, Paula, Raz Panda, Jay, and Rachel. Thank you so much.
And if you want to see the Bose Gen 2 Ultras compared to the Gen 1 Ultras and the QuietComfort from Bose, then check out this video linked up here.